everyone, welcome back. Happy somehow 6 months into the year. It's always really jarring to film these videos because that means it's been another 6 months. Somehow. This is the 6-month Photocard binder flip through. I honestly do not remember how many binders I had when we did this in January. But I'm sitting on 22 right now, kind of scattered around the table in a very messy fashion. There will be timestamps either on the video or in the description box if you would like to flip around between all of the binders that we're going to go through. If you've never watched one of my videos before, hi, hello, welcome. I collect OT12 Loona, OT8 Stray Kids. I have a past OT7 Dreamcatcher collection. I collect Craxy. I collect Yeosang of Ateez, and then this that you're looking at right now is my Miscellaneous binder that basically I have bought the albums, so I have the photocards. So if you're interested in any of that, again, there will be timestamps below about like what binder I'm going through and what it is. With all that being said, let's get flipping through these because I already know this is going to be like probably at least a 50-minute video. So let's do this. So like I mentioned, this is my Miscellaneous binder. I separate it, boy groups are first and then girl groups are at the end. And then each section is split up and I do it alphabetically, which means we start off the binder with Ace. Rest in peace to Ace. We'll be very curious to see if the boys go on to do anything else. So we start with, I think this is the Mad Squad, and then this is the Butterfly Fantasy, I think, and then there's Siren Dawn, and then I end with Changer. I did buy their last album, but I didn't really like it, so I ended up getting rid of it. Oh, I also have, since you last saw this video, I started like double-siding these. We might do a binder maintenance one day where I just do this sleeve stuff and talk about comebacks and such. So after Ace, we transition into Ateez. This is another collection that I got rid of a bunch of extra cards. Like I said before, I do collect Yeosang, but I was kind of keeping all of my other pulls, which meant I had way too many Ateez cards. So I ended up getting rid of a ton of them. Basically, I kept mostly cards of Seonghwa and Jungho, who are my second and third Vias. It kind of flips back and forth between those two, so I kept a lot of their cards and then just like a couple other cards from the members that I liked. So I have most of the group cards here, and then it does just go in the order of the actual albums. So this is all Treasure, then we have some Fever, and then The World kind of blurs in here as well, and then some Golden Hour stuff here. We'll see what I end up getting from this next album, because Golden Hour Part 3 has already been really weird. I don't know what's going on with it. We'll see. I do have a couple OT8 sets that I did keep together, probably because I kept the photo book or the DVD or whatever. This is one of the DVDs. Break the Wall, I think? Maybe? These two sets are from the OT Youth photo book. This was the pre-order, and then this was the actual set that came in it. And then this was the platform from Golden Hour Part 1. I think it's Part 1, which I kept as well. And you can see exactly how far I got into the double sleeving of things. Anyway, next is my EXO cards. I do still have several EXO albums. I tried to keep like one kind of per album, if that makes sense. So I had all of the songs on CD and stuff. So this is kind of what I have left. And then I ran out of one card, so there's just this one Baekhyun on the back. Next is Kingdom, or I guess they were The Kingdom. I was collecting them when they were called Kingdom. I don't think they've actually released an album since they rebranded and then did something that nobody wanted them to do. Have we seen Kingdom since then? I don't think we have. I didn't follow them back closely. But like, if there are Kingmakers out there, have they had another comeback? I don't think they have. But anyway, I have all of their History of Kingdom albums. And these are just all of the cards from that. There's a couple POBs interspersed in there. Like, I know these are, I think they're Make Star. I think these two were POBs. I don't know what they're from. Oh, they're also Make Star. But yeah, I just have basically my pulls and stuff from those albums. It's a shame that I think their company just ran out of money because they had like a really cool concept that was really interesting. Like, they had the kind of concept that makes K-pop interesting to me, because like, you're not going to see a Western group do this kind of thing, so I don't know. It's kind of sad to have lost them. Next is the remnants of my NCT collection. There was a point in time, very far before the start of this channel, where NCT was one of my alt groups. I had like every single copy of every single version of every single NCT album. Obviously that's no longer the case anymore, but I do have a few albums from them. It's a lot of WayV. WayV, I think to this day, is still my favorite subunit, so it's a lot of WayV cards, because I've kept most of WayV's albums and then just a couple 127 albums, I think. So we have two 127. This is Fire Truck and Cherry Bomb. Yeah, and then one of every single copy of WayV's album. I think I have both versions of all of them up to Phantom, in which I just kept one of the albums. Next up we have Zeed, which, wow, this is just like, this binder is just like a graveyard of like smaller tiered kind of new goo boy and girl group stam. They were a smaller boy group. They have since disbanded to my knowledge. But I mostly collected Jaemin for the two albums that they did release. I think this is a Doha card, I think. I don't know based on the signatures, but I should really look into what all of these members went on to do. They were really talented. The last of the boy group stuff is from Yuta's solo debut. Minor spoilers for some upcoming stuff. I actually do have all of the copies of Twisted Paradise on the way, which is his first single. So we will actually get to add to this, which is fun. I wish SM promoted him at all, because his solo music is so good. Like, if you haven't heard Yuta's solo music and you're interested in rock or J-rock at all, even slightly, please go listen to his stuff. It's so good. So we will actually have stuff to add to this section, which is exciting. Okay, the rest of the binder is girl groups. I think this one is a little less in alphabetical order, but it's still mostly kind of there. It's kind of fallen apart because I do get more girl group cards, but it's mostly there. So my first section here is my Cherry Bullet section. I miss them every day. I miss them so much. FNC, how could you do this to me? I mean, I know how. It's because they're FNC. That doesn't need to be explained, but like, FNC, please. So yeah, it's mostly just my pulls. There's some pre-orders, like these two are from My Music Taste for Cherry Wish. I think these are the pre-orders for Cherry Dash. Yeah, these were FNC store POBs. So the next cards, I guess, so these cards are the remaining cards that I kept from my Billy Moonsua collection. I do not remember if I ever had that collection while I was doing YouTube, but I used to collect like OT7 album cards and then some extra Moonsua cards. I eventually downsized to just Moonsua, and I have since stopped collecting them, but I still do really, really love Billy. The recent, it was like a subunit with Moonsua and Xiun. That song, Snap, I'll talk about it probably again in another video, but that song is so good. There's just so many cards here already. So the next couple cards, these two are from Bugaboo's Pop. There will be more Bugaboo cards in a later section of this album, but this is all I collected for Pop. They were just my pulls. The next couple, and then a couple on these page, are these right here are Miscellaneous Craxy cards that I have. I do collect, or I try to collect, all of their album cards. The explanation will come during that section, because I'm guessing 90% of you have not heard of them before, and the 10% of you that have probably seen one of my videos before, which is probably one of the only reasons you know about them. But I am here to spread the Crown propaganda in hopes that they do one day come back. I've heard rumors of Q4 of this year, and you best believe I will be there. Starting here with another Sua, we have the kind of miscellaneous cards I kept from when I downsized my Dreamcatcher collection. It was hard. It was a really hard collection for me to downsize, but I am very happy with the remaining cards that I did keep, but I probably still kept too many miscellaneous cards, but that's neither here nor there. have two, well, right now I have two Itzy cards. That also may be changing soon, but these are from the Crazy in Love special photo book version. I have two Miscellaneous Kepler cards that I randomly got as freebies, and I'm pretty sure they're real album cards, so I kept them because I don't have any other Kepler cards, and that's fun to have. Again, don't know how to be normal about girl groups. I have Jaewon from Loona Seraphim, I have Wendy from Red Velvet. This page is, I think, except for this one, is all Pink Fantasy. Also a group taken from me too soon. I miss them too. This card right here, as well as, these are kind of out of order. These two, because they stick over the top here, are Purpleback, another group that no longer exists anymore. Going back up to the top, these are from Saturday's DBDBD. Again, I don't think we have them either. Wow, this is so depressing. It's so depressing to go through my girl group session and be like, they're disbanded, they're disbanded, they're disbanded, they're disbanded. Not disbanded group, I have some S cards. And I guess this will go for my ARTMS cards as well. I've scanned all of these cards, which is why they don't have stickers on the back. So they've already been scanned into my app. But I have a random POB that I was given with a random order from a US K-pop store. And then I have, I think this is from Acid Angels from Asia. These two are from Crystallize, I think. And those are the two S albums that I have. I have Dreamcatcher pulls from my Nightmare and Fall Asleep in the Mirror reprints. I have 3 random Twice cards that have been given to me in trades and sales as freebies, so I keep them in there. And then these 3 are signature cards, another group taken from us too soon. They release such good summer music. I miss Signature. This is from their first mini album though. Listen and Speak? Yeah, Listen and Speak. And here is the rest of the Bugaboo cards that I was talking about. So I have a full OT6 set from their first single, which was just called Bugaboo. So I have the lenties here, and then on the page here, I have the spread of all of their album cards. I miss them too. Shakes fist at Ryan Jin. And on the back here is my stupid freebies page that I've been given, because I think it's funny to have them here. This binder is my OT5 Craxy collection. And I think in the back there's some like Dreamcatcher large inclusions. It's kind of a lot of my binders are kind of weird, but I don't want to keep buying more binders. So I have all of their early cards and just a bunch of like random postcard large inclusions. Because if the photo cards are hard to find, I'm never finding all these postcards. And as you can see, even the album cards are hard to find. That's what happens when you collect a really tiny group. And I still think to this day, I don't think we have all of the Who Am I album cards like on templates. I still don't think we know what they all look like. Will we ever? I don't know. I think I'm just gonna like randomly occasionally buy an album in hopes that I pull one and we can eventually find all of the album cards. It's so ridiculous. These are postcards from XX or Nugadum, whatever the album was called. The posters that I have, again, I will never have all of these. These are just basically the ones I pulled either myself or from group orders. And then here are all of the photo cards. I think these are both pre-orders. I think they're both K-Top for You. I think this was the Make Star Winners set, and then this was the Make Star Winners set for another round of stuff. And again, maybe one day I'll have all of the album cards. Someday, I have faith. These are 2 rounds from, I think it was Inside Record. I don't even know if that store exists anymore, but they're from that. These are the Nemo version album cards, and then I actually sleeved all of the Nemo version concept cards because I'm never going to open those little cases to look at them, so I might as well store them in binders. Oh, and this was a fan-made set someone sent me when I bought a bunch of Craxy cards off of them, and we have so few OT5 sets that it went in the binder anyway. These are from, oh, I didn't actually We'll get to that one day. These are cutout pages from an Eat-a-Book magazine. It was some boy group that I can't remember the name of, but like Craxy had a really small section in the back, so I bought it and then cut out the pages. I still haven't mounted them, so all 4 of them are just shoved in here. These are the posters from Re, and then the 4 pocket inclusions as well. And then here in the back are the Dreamcatcher large inclusions that I decided to keep. So I have the Love Catcher posters. These are from Villains? I think they're from the Villains limited version. I have the Love Stealer member postcards, posters, mini posters, whatever these are called. These are from the Eat-a-Book with Dreamcatcher. These and the Eat-a-Book Photocards is one of my favorite Dreamcatcher sets. They're so pretty. I have the OOTD cards, the dollars from the Love Stealer, random tickets. It's kind of all over the place as far as like what I kept. Did I really need to keep all the stickers in here? No, probably not. They're here. Postcard size stuff. And then occasionally I put these tarot cards in there as well. Okay, we'll stick with Craxy here. So this is my OT4 Craxy collection. Since I assume most of you don't know, Chuu, who was the 5th member, is no longer a member of the group, so there's just 4 of the remaining members. I'm hoping one day we get another group card that I could put there, although I still don't know how I feel about this layout. So basically it's Wa, Karen, Heejin, and Swan, and then that just repeats 3 times over the page. I still don't know how I feel about this layout, but I had this binder and it's like this for right now. These are from KCON 2023, I think. They were like there was like an unreleased broadcast set that they just printed and sold at KCON. These with the signatures, so starting here, is from a little voice polka thing that they did for like, it was kind of like a season's greetings thing. Starting here are all of the sets for Re. Pre-orders, I don't remember what these are from. Everline. These are Everline. I think this is the Make Star Winners set with the heart cutouts. These are jewel case cards. Again, I think I'll always have holes in my Craxy collection, just due to the nature of their size. But these are all album cards. The problem is really hard to tell between album cards, the KCON trading cards, and then the KCON set. I think here starts the KCON stuff, but again, it's really hard to tell because they took all of them in the actual like photo jacket ones, so I don't really know. And then these are Make Star? Yes, Make Star pre-orders. Again, I've heard rumors about Q4 of this year, so maybe we will get to add to this year. This is the remainder of my Dreamcatcher collection. I did kind of ruthlessly declutter this over the course of the year, but I'm very, very happy with what I have left. So I know it was worth it. So I did collect OT7. There are still a couple sets in here that I am working on, specifically this Rate of Dream MMT set. It'll be a while. I kept, I think, all of Rate of Dream because it's to this day one of my favorite Dreamcatcher eras. Deja Vu is one of the best K-pop songs of all time, argue with the wall. These are broadcast replicas that I kept. And then we have Tree of Language. And because Hanlong wasn't in this, I went for the 6-member pattern layout just for the 2 comebacks that she wasn't a part of. Because then we have Lose Myself. I think these bottom ones were the K-Town For You sets, and then everything else is an album card. And then Hanlong was back for Road to Utopia, so we're back to the 7 pattern. Summer Holiday with the K-Town For You POBs. This is a weird mixed together set of, I think some of these are limited cards, some of them are normal cards. But I didn't love how any of the Summer Holiday sets were set up, so I kind of made my own. So this is what that set is, and it's like a flower set. As you can see by the backs, they're kind of from multiple sets. We have the Make Star pre-order for Mysterious Mansion, and then the actual set. This is from one of the concerts, Midnight Circus. Then we have Season's Greetings, the ID cards that I have for Dreamcatcher. Then we get to the Apocalypse series. So this is Save Us. These are from the merch binder thing. It was like a little collect book. This is from the Apocalypse Save Us tour, which was the first concert I ever went to, so these cards are really sentimental to me. These are from the merch sets from that summer. This is Love Catcher and then Love Stealer. The infamous Anime Matsuri PCs. These are replicas of those. I was not going to bother trying to track those down. And then we have Follow Us. Is that what this was called? Yes. If you would like an in-depth reasoning as to like why I kept the sets I kept and why I don't have certain sets, both of the declutters are still on my channel, and I talked a lot about like why I kept certain sets that I did keep and why I got rid of ones. This is From Us. Yeah, Apocalypse From Us. We have the K-Town for You. This one's a Make Star. This one is also Make Star, but double-sided this time. These are those Ida book sets that I was talking about. They're so pretty. Here's the other one. And then this is K-Town for You Lucky Draws, I think, from that era. These aren't labeled like the Make Star ones, but also double-sided. Very fond of double-sided PCs. These are the Dreamland's Dream Quest merch photo book things. And then we have Villains. I think this is another era I kept mostly pre-orders for. One day I will find that GU card. These are broadcast replicas. Can't believe they couldn't give these to us as like album cards. Crimes. This is a set from, I think it was InterAsia. I think it was a fan call or something. And I'm matching like the cards that they have in the actual things. Again, one day I'll find that GU card to match that set out. And this is Virtuous. So, and mostly sets. This is I'm saving for, they have like a rubber duck POB set that I still really want. So eventually I'll get those. These are the normal album cards. Still looking for Suas of that one too. And the last of this binder is the poker cards from Virtuous. Okay, next is my Yeosang collection, which has undergone a lot of changes since we saw it last. It's back in an A5. It's a lot fewer cards than I used to have. But Ateez just, they're doing too much and it's too confusing, and this is what makes me happy. I definitely pared it down to like kind of groups of 4 per era, unless they only had 1 or 2 per era. So I kept most of Treasure. Eventually I will find those cards. I have, I think, at least one of these on the way. But yeah, for the most part, I downsized to like 4 per era kind of thing. Or like, as the later eras go on, there's a couple that have 8 per era based on how much I wanted to keep some of the cards, admittedly. So we have The World. You can tell kind of what my favorite eras are based on how many cards I kept for them. So obviously Spinoff has a lot of cards. Outlaw also has a lot of cards. And then we have Will, and then you can tell how much I liked Golden Hour because this is Golden Hour Part 1 and this is Golden Hour Part 2. And then in the back, because I wanted to leave room to add more cards here, I have a couple Japanese albums. There's a couple random stuff that just didn't quite fit with the other stuff, but I still wanted to keep them. So I have, I think this is Paradigm, this one is Limitless, and then we have a bunch of miscellaneous stuff. So this is from the Treasure era photo book. This was the K-Town for You pre-order for Fever Part 1, I think. What era is this from? I think it's Fever Epilogue. Yes. This was from one of the DVDs, I think. And then we have a couple miscellaneous cards from eras that didn't fit, but I didn't want to get rid of them. So like Golden Hour Part 3, this one is Outlaw. This is from that huge mega stupidly giant thing that they did that I can't remember the name of right now. It was like a Apple Music pre-order, I think. I think this was from Limitless. And then this was a unit card from Golden Hour Part 1, I think, which was too cute I couldn't get rid of it, so. That is the remainder of my Ateez collection. Everything going forward in this video is just 2 collections. I guess I would call these 2 my main collections, although one of them is definitely more main than the other. Shouldn't surprise you which one it is, but it's not this one, but this is my Stray Kids collection, which is, it's a lot of binders. There's so many binders for Stray Kids, and they're all kind of a mess, which is, if you've seen my collection, not new. I don't know why my Stray Kids collection is always a mess. I think it's because they release so much and I just don't know where to put it all. So we're going to start with the 2 small binders for Stray Kids, and then we'll go into the bigger stuff. So this is like my miscellaneous members that aren't really the members that I collect more heavily. There is not a good way to explain this binder. So it starts off with these Maximate Heart cards, because I hate the way that these cards look in an 8 pocket. I actually usually hate the way the half heart cards look unless you can match them up like this, so I'm glad there's 8 members to do so with in this group. Then everything else in this binder is just like miscellaneous cards that I've attained for the members that I don't technically asterisk collect, but I have them, so do I collect them? I don't know. I have a more specific collection for Changbin and Felix. I guess that's a better way to say it. And then if I happen to acquire cards of other members, they go in here. We're not in this binder very often. I have a little bit of self-control. If you're curious at any point in this video, not just for this collection, but if you're curious at any point in this video what a specific card is that I don't say, feel free to leave a timestamp and I will help you out. I know what most of the cards in my collection are. So these are the cards that I have for Chan. Most of these are in like release order, because we have Maxident. I think this is also Maxident, maybe? What is this from? I know it's a lucky draw. Yeah, it's Maxident. And then we have 5-star, also 5-star, also there was a lot of 5-star cards that I got. I know these are Rockstar. And then these are the cards that I have for Loona. This one's Maxident. I think it's, what is this from? With Mew. I was gonna say Makestar, because like Makestar is the only one that does holo cards anymore. With Mew used to, apparently. These are 5-star. This one is Rockstar. Then we have some Heejin cards, Ordinary, and then 5-star. My sad, single, lonely Yeosang. I have these 2 for Singmin, and then I have Ian as well. So like I was trying to explain, I do kind of intentionally collect Changbin and Felix. So this is their binder. It's, some of them have the colored sleeves, other of them don't. Eventually we will need to do another binder maintenance video for Stray Kids. There's just been so many other videos to actually film recently that I haven't had time to do binder maintenance. I also got, I don't know if you're going to be able to tell on camera, but most of Felix's cards are in the cat holo sleeve. I may now have holo sleeves for Changbin, so we'll have to do that too. But like I said, there's a little more intention with which I collect Changbin and Felix. I certainly do not collect everything. I will never be a completionist Stray Kids collector. They simply release too much. I collect the cards that bring me joy and that aren't like $500 to obtain, because there's some Stray Kids cards out there. It's like, why is this so expensive? For what? This album sold like 1 million copies? It doesn't need to be that expensive. I know they just released Holo. I don't have any of the cards from Holo yet, but we'll get there one day. And then in the back here is kind of separate collections that I have for Changbin and Felix, where I don't really have both of their cards, and I don't have the present intention to get both of them, especially for some of these limited cards. I would like to get Changbin's limited cards. Will I ever get Felix's? I don't know. Those are way more expensive, so For right now, they're in Changbin section. I have a lot more cards for Changbin. He is my bias. So I end up with more cards for him. So those are all like POBs and stuff from albums. This is like merch, season's greetings, stuff. I think this was 2023. This was from Pilot. This was 2024, maybe? These are from the Dome Tour in Japan. All of the dates for that. Also Pilot. This is from the 5 o'clock fan meeting. I would love to get Felix's of this, but I don't think I've ever seen it for less than like $80. And I'm gonna be honest, I simply am not gonna pay that. So I don't have his. And then obviously I have a lot fewer miscellaneous cards for Felix. He's a much more difficult member to get cards for, so I don't have as many for him, but here are the cards that I do have for him, including one of my favorite photo cards of all time. Can't tell you why, I just love this card so much. Okay, this is my actual Stray Kids album card collection. This is binder 1 of 2 of that. This is all the earlier era stuff. Using extra albums, I make these like filler pages for each of the eras. I don't have them for all of them, but I am working on getting extra copies of the albums from the eras I'm missing so we can make dividers for all of them, because I think it's a fun part of my collection. So eventually I will have these for all of them, and then the other members are on the back. But I'm working on it, we'll get there. So everything is just in chronological order. For most of the earlier eras, I just have my pulls, and then eventually I will work on going back and collecting more of the earlier eras, but it's not a priority right now. So this is Mixtape. This is I Am Not. And then this is the pretty much the only early era set that I have done. I've also been playing around with how I want these laid out, because I don't necessarily love like the middle blank spot, so I've been playing around with it. We'll see if I end up changing my whole collection to have the top spot be blank. I do not have all the units for I Am Not, but the selfies are done. Then this is I Am Who, I Am You. I have a lot for Miro. This one is Yellowwood. Again, I just have random albums that I do have more copies for. This is Levanter. And then we have Go Live, In Life. I have bought a couple In Life cards, I think, but most of them are pulls. I think eventually, once I start going back, I think In Life is one of the albums that I'd like to complete first. It's one of my favorite Photocard eras as far as the earlier eras go, so I would love to have that one done. These are replicas. This is No Easy. I have started to split out some that I had more cards for. And then here's just all of the other cards from sets that I don't have enough to justify a full page for. And then you can tell I have a few more Changbin and Felix cards. We have Ordinary with all of the unit cards. And then here are my pulls, and then the set that I had enough for. A couple of them are the misprints, but I don't think I care that much. More replicas. These are Christmas Evil. And then Maxident was the first era that I have mostly completed, except for the, was it the case version? That was like the Digipack member version from this era. Yeah, I'm missing some of those, but everything else is complete for this era, so I'm missing these and then a lot more for this set. I would like to have this set done this year. That's one of my goals, so we're gonna have to get on that in the next part of the year. So 5 Star is the first album that is like complete. I have all of the album cards, all of my little fillers are done for this era. So we don't have to worry about anything for this era. I would like to get some kind of filler for the middle. I had extras, so I put these in the middle, which I like doing. but this one's weird to have just like one of their hands on the front, also just kind of weird in general. And then the digipacks, which again, I could get an extra one, but it'd have one of their names on it, so I don't know what to do about that. And then I have some replica sets in the back as well. I think these were broadcast week 1, week 2, and then this is a set that I have, you saw in the other binders, I have Changbin Felix, Changbin. I think I would like to actually get this set. I think it's really cute. Okay, this is Stray Kids album card binder 2. And I love how the first binder has like 12 eras in it. Granted, I don't have all the cards for it, but it's got like, what, 12 eras in it? This one has 3. And it is the same size. So this is Rockstar 8 and Hop in this binder. And then whatever comes next will also be in this binder. So we start with Rockstar. And again, most of these eras are complete except for a few 8 and Hop cards. Rockstar is complete. The headliner version. Remember when they gave us a full selfie set for the Nemo cards? I remember saying at the time, I was like, this is the only time we are going to get that. Yep. I'm not happy about being correct, but like, I was correct. And this is KM Station. Something round. Voice call, maybe? I don't know. I don't normally buy a bunch of OT8 sets for POBs, but I couldn't resist. Look at them. So then we get to 8 with the filler sets. Eventually I will get the postcards. I think they were the limited version postcards, but I've got 4 of them. I think because I don't have them on a template, I always just forget that I'm still looking for them. We have made a lot of progress on 8 this year, which is very exciting. I do have more progress sitting in a drawer, but they're not in the binder yet, so. I hope they never do a set like this again. It's so cute, but like, at what cost? At what cost? These were the letter version cards. One of the rare instances where we get a cohesive OT8 set. That's pretty impressive. These are the accordion versions. And then the other version from the accordion. I could do without that packaging. I don't mind having a member version, but I don't like the packaging on those. These are the Nemo cards for this set. Unsurprisingly, they were not selfies this time. Although what drives me crazy is like, so they weren't selfies, so you intentionally chose these pictures, which means someone intentionally was like, what if we put Loona and Jeongin, what if we made them sideways? Come on, guys. These are the selfies. I actually do have all of these. Again, we just haven't gotten around to storing them, so come back in December or January whenever I post that video, and end of 2025, they will be in the binder. I mean, they'll be in the binder like the end of this month, but the next flip through video, they will be in the binder. This is the other Nemo set, because apparently we needed 2 JYP. I saw someone say that these look like fake cards. Like they look like those, I can't remember the name of it right now. Lomo. They look like Lomo cards, and I kind of have to agree. They do kind of look like Lomo cards. And then again, I do have the rest of these. Then we get to Hop. This is Music Korea, I think. And then we have the normal version, I think. These are the limited cards. I think I have all of these, again, sitting in the drawer. We have a lot to store. I just didn't get around to storing all of them before this flip through. So the album units, I think I have this segment. And I also have that Han, to my knowledge. The Nemo concept set, and then the Nemo selfie set. I have that Changbin as well. Basically, my goal was to be done with most of my recent Stray Kids sets that I'm working on before whatever comeback they have, because I know it's looming. I'm aware of that. I'm hoping that they don't do it before the Europe leg of the tour. Like, just go chill. Just go take a vacation, please. But who knows? I'm hoping it's after most of the tour is done, so I have time to finish all of that. And then this is a replica set of the, like, it was like an in-person event in Korea where that was like you had to go scan QR codes around Korea, I think is what it was. I don't know. These are replicas because I wanted something in all of their solo jacket MV shots, and everything that's real is really expensive. So I still say that we should have gotten for the accordion version, which I think was one of these. For one of the accordion cards, it should have been their solo cover. Like, they clearly took selfies in them. Why didn't you just give us an album version with that? You know? Oh, that drives me crazy. Put me in charge, JYP, I swear. Okay, I hope you enjoyed Stray Kids binders that were not messy. This is the Japanese OT8 merch stuff binder. There's a lot of weird stuff in this. So at the front here are the weird pre-Social Path? No, I think Social Path had. No, I guess Social Path didn't. It was like the Japanese album cards before they made them normal photocard sized cards. I have a lot of Changbin for them, obviously. And then the second page here is just like miscellaneous other members that I have, mostly from the sound. I do have all of the units from the sound onwards. Hollow is coming as well. I love unit cards. I do have most of these. Would I like to go back and get the other ones? Yes, but they're way more expensive, so maybe one day. I have a lot of like future plans for my Stray Kids collection, and I think I'm gonna do it when they all start enlisting in the military. Like, I just need you to chill for 5 seconds. These are from a Social Path, and then we have Giant. These are from the Dome tour for Maniac, I think. This is 3rd Gen Stay. This is 4th Gen Stay with the units. Why they couldn't keep giving us units in the Stay Kits, I don't know. I do also have 5th Gen Stay, but again, like I said, it's just not the binder. And again, like I said, this binder is really weird. Do I have a bunch more miscellaneous other member cards in this binder? That probably should go in the other binder, but that one's kind of just POBs, so I don't know really what to do with these. Yes. So here's a bunch of Chan cards from the, what Dome tour is this? 5-star, the 5-star Dome tour, because I loved his Dome tour cards, especially this one. I love this card so much. So I do have a bunch of miscellaneous Chan cards, and then I also have this Felix card and this Jongin card. And then also there's a bunch of miscellaneous Changbin cards in here. Why are they in here? I don't know. And then I also have his set from Super Bowl and Social Path. Why are they in here? Again, I don't know. I don't know why that miscellaneous page is in here either, but I also have the ID pages. So these were from Giant. I just have Changbin and Felix for that, so these go here, and then the double-sided ones kind of make the page weird, but here is the OT8 sets that I have. Here are the other sides of the double-sided cards. Okay, this is my large inclusions binder, and we're going to use it to segue into the final collection. I do have a few Ateez large inclusions in here, but it mostly is Stray Kids and then Loona. So here are the remaining Ateez large inclusions, mostly Yeosang, a couple group postcards from earlier stuff, and then we have all my Stray Kids stuff. So these are the weird big photocard things from IMU. These are from No Easy, and then we have the pre-orders from No Easy. I think by all accounts these should fit in these pages, and they fit in the outside ones. They do not fit in these inside pockets, so I've had to make some weird adjustments for these cards, so yeah. So they're kind of set up in a weird order, but this is the only way I figured out how to fit them in pages. I have a bunch of these weird mini poster member things. These are from Ordinary. These are Maxident. I guess I should really flip Changbin the other way. I'll do that later. And we have a bunch of the 5-star ones. These are Rockstar. I have the one from 8 that's not a member thing. I have an 8 signed postcard. This is my Hop signed postcard. The ones behind them are just the unsigned version. I guess I don't really need to store both of them here, but whatever. Christmas Evil. These are also from Hop. And then there's like postcard size inclusions from a bunch of random albums. This is 4th Gen's Day. And again, random film strip things. These weird, I don't even remember what these are called from Rockstar. These things from Rockstar. The accordion books from 8 and the random receipts I pulled as well. I managed to pull 4 different members, I think, which was crazy. Okay. Everything else in this video is Loona. That being said, just last week I posted my Loona collection video. I do it every July. So there is a whole like 50-minute video waiting for you if you would like to see my Loona collection way more in depth than I am about to go. Like, I'm about to fly through this thing. If you don't want me to speed through this, just go watch that video. I put this in here just because I know not everyone cares specifically about Loona. It's more just like a, if that interests you and you would like to see how insane the collection is, feel free to go watch that video. But everyone else, sometimes you just want to watch someone's flip through video and you don't want to watch their specific videos, and I get that. That being said, let's go through all the Loona binders because there is 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 10. There are 11 of them. So literally half of my collection is just Loona. So these are all my large inclusions, mostly Loona era stuff. I don't think there's much post Loona. I don't think there's any post Loona in here actually. I would eventually like to split Stray Kids and I guess the Ateez section out of this binder to just give Loona their own large inclusions binder. Again, many binder maintenance things, but there have just been so many like releases and other stuff in the past couple months that I just haven't had time to film and post binder maintenance, you know? This definitely starts out a lot more organized than it devolves into near the end. It just starts getting really random. So like one day, when I make Loona their own large inclusions binder, we'll make it look nicer and organize it in a more reasonable fashion. One day. But they had a lot of stuff that was this size, weirdly. So there are all of my Loona large inclusions. Okay, here is the start of my full group Loona collection. So this is everything when they were 12 members under BBC, and everything is in chronological order. So we start out with pre-debut, all of their solo jacket albums, and then these are the unit jackets, and then Kim Lip and Eve obviously have just their second solo. I put all these subunits next. The broadcasts are replicas. This Kim Lip was a really exciting addition. And then rest of them. These are the Line and Up Polaroids and the Loona Studio sets. We have Orbit 2.0, full group debut, the Meet and Up sets, and then Butterfly Era, which I will conquer eventually. 2020 season's greetings. Hash, more hash, and then light stick. We have 2020 summer package. I do kind of miss that about post Loona groups, We don't have any photo books for them, and that kind of makes me sad. These are all the midnight photo cards, because what we obviously needed in albums was 144 member photo cards. I mean, I guess it's not 144 because Haseul wasn't in this one, but it is for the other two eras. These are all the fan call stuff. And then the, what did I say the last one was? This would be 2021 Seasons of Greetings. Probably their most boring one, if you ask me. Orbit 3.0, this is the On Wave, Loona On Wave concert. Then we get to And era. And yeah, I did store all of the calendar cards. Okay, now we have And photo cards, in which we had 144 album photo cards. That's still crazy to me. There was no reason for that, BBC. We didn't have to do that. But they are all done, finally. Now we just have a lot of POB sets to worry about. We have Hula Hoop. At least Hula Hoop is done. Can't say the same for Luminous. 2022 Seasons Greetings, which is the only one I still have in this like diagonal pattern as opposed to 12 members on the same page. I think I still like how this one looks. This is the Looniverse From concert set and the million trading cards. And then the other stuff from that concert as well. There are two more Loona era binders. This is Orbit 4.0. This is a fan-made set from Queendom. And then we have the Flip That era. And oh boy, do they have a lot of pre-order cards for this. One day I'll get there. Album cards, where we technically got 156 album cards because they included the AR set this time. That's, oh, unreasonable. Please. I would honestly be curious if there were any other group that had that many album photo cards. Like maybe an NCT full group kind of thing. But because I don't collect any other group to this extent, I guess. I guess Stray Kids, but I don't even think they've had 144 album photo cards. And don't worry, the end of this binder isn't even the end of Flip That. There's more. Here's the end of Flip That, as well as the merch sets for Flip That. Eventually I'll get more of the concept cards for these, but I do have all the holos, which is, I care about that way more. 2023 summer package. No, this is 2022. Sorry, Loona didn't exist in 2023. This is the concert set. I am very grateful to have seen them in concert. And I saw them at one of the stops before the entire tour fell apart, so I got to see all 11 members on stage. I wish Chuu had been there, BBC, but I did get to see all 11 members on stage. The Wonderwall stuff. This is the final stop of the tour, the Seoul concert merch, all of the trading cards. I wish Chuu had been in this because this set right here is probably one of my favorite sets. I don't know why, I just love these outfits. I think it all looks so good with like the really pink tone blush on all of them. It's just such a good set. I'm so mad we don't have Chuu in it. Nope. Less of that. Eventually I will work on these superstar cards. This set kind of scares me though. Luminous, my beloved. 4 more. I'm wondering if I can finally finish these before next July when I do my other Loona flip through. That'd be great. I would love to finish Luminous. Gotta start working on those down jumper sets, and then this is another set. This is the Record, the Finale photo book. I really just need to finish the set. And then in the back here, I just have some group cards that didn't really fit in their respective sections. So they're in the back here. Eventually I'll figure out what to do with these blank pages at the end, but this is the end of it as of right now. Okay, I lied, it's not all post-Loona. I forgot that these were in the front of this binder, as if I didn't just film this week. Apparently I filmed that video and just like dumped all of the information out of my brain immediately. So these are from Flip That. These are the Who's Fan Cafe prints, the Luminous Universal Music Japan pre-orders, the 2020 summer package postcards, and then the And Kino. Then I have some ID sets as well from OT12 era. And then this is where we start post-Loona. So I just stuck the ID pages with them, but these are from Chuu's most recent season's greetings. Then we get to Odd Eye Circle. So the first post-Loona group to debut. All of their objects. Back when we got actual nice objects. The weird misprint clear card situation. And then just POBs, fan signs. All the other stuff that comes along with it now. We have Haseul. The green ones for Plastic Candy are replicas, and then the fragilized ones are official. We get to Heejin's K with just a bunch of random sets. Then we have the doll postcards, which I will get to one day. These are from the Moonshot tour in Japan. I have Kimlip and Chetty. One day I'll get the rest of them. And then this is Yeojin's first set from Hello Live. I have more of them. They're just not in the binder. I have a little mini Loossemble binder. It's mostly Loossemble. There's a Kimlip card in here, but I have just a bunch of miscellaneous Loossemble cards that I don't have full sets for, that I don't want to waste the big binder pages for, so they go in here until I get more of the set. There's just so many one-of-a-kind cards that many of them ended up in here. These are some units that also don't have enough to make a set in the binder. A random Kimlip POB from Doll, and then pretty sure this is just a sticker, and then this is from like some, I think it's a Chinese magazine from Loona era. Is it an official card? I don't know, but I have it, so it goes in there. Okay, this is the ARTMS binder. I do have some bigger stuff for the pre-ARTMS groups that didn't fit in the other binder, so there's some version up stuff in here, some Heejin stuff that just fits better in these pages. I have some object replicas, or physical prints, or whatever you want to call them. These are from the version up tour, the volume up tour, yeah, in Japan. Then we have season's greetings stuff from 2024 and 2025. As well as the big member posters from the 2024 one. Okay, then we have some more fan-made versions of objects. The fan kit. These are real objects from the Moonshot tour. And we finally get to Doll. So here is some pre-orders. These are from the QR albums that I cut up. More pre-orders. And then the actual OMAs. Eventually I'll get the rest of them. I think I'd like to prioritize those this year. The clear cards that I'll put back in for eventually. And then these are from the Moonshot tour. It's like all the trading card and then the light stick merch stuff. there was a lot from the Moonshot tour. Oh, I skipped a page. There is miscellaneous postcard side stuff. More Moonshot tour stuff, but these are from the different legs of the tour. They were released as digital only objects. And then Lunar Theory, because we had to have so many tours back to back. At the back here we have the IDs, so the 2 ARTMS sets and then the Loossemble set, because they only had 1 set, so I'm not going to waste a whole page just for them. So they get to be in the ARTMS binder, as well as Chuu and Yves. Back here I have all of their large inclusion stuff that I have, because I store them in a smaller A4 binder. So I just keep their big stuff in here. Okay, speaking of Chuu and Yves, here is their binder. So we have Haseul, all of the album cards, and then merch and POBs and such. Season's Greetings from both years is here. I really want to split out Season's Greetings so it doesn't just start randomly on the Haseul page. And then we have Strawberry Rush, which has super colorful pages. And then the last POB sets for that era, the 2nd gen Coty kit. And it's incomplete, but here is Only Cry in the Rain. I have a decent amount of cards for it so far, but still missing some album cards and all of the fan signs and stuff that I joined for cards. So we still have cards to add to this section. And then we have Yves. So we have her Loop era photo cards from the album, as well as some POBs mixed in. I think I'd really like to redo Loop once I eventually get all of the actual cards in. This page is some of her later events, as well as the overseas album cards from this era. Very happy to have all of those. And then these last 2 pages for Loop are just the miscellaneous fan call stuff that I have, because her stuff is very difficult to get, so it's very slow. Okay, and everything else in this binder is I did. So this is every single card from the era except for a couple that I technically have. I technically paid for them. Are they lost in the limbo of customs and stuff? Yep. So who knows if those will ever arrive to me. But I have all of her album cards, and then start to intersperse some POBs. And then the rest of the spreads are all of the pre-orders, fan signs, fan calls. I had a very fun time putting all these spreads together. So there is all of Chuu and Yves for right now. And last but not least, we have Loossemble. So I have 2 binders for them. This is mostly non-album cards and pre-orders and stuff. All the album cards are in the other binder. But we have Loossemble era, large inclusions. So many weird large inclusions in this album for some reason. And then we have debut showcase tour thing. And then here's all the random cards that I got from Loossemble era. We have the fan kit, postcards, posters, whatever these are called. Lovesemble stuff. Season's Greetings, our one and only Loossemble Season's Greetings. And then we get to One of a Kind, which is like a huge chunk of this binder because One of a Kind era is kind of insane. here is all of the large inclusion stuff. Finally got all of these postcards. The weird standy things. And then not even a fraction of all of the cards that happened during one-of-a-kind era. The prettiest sets of postcards maybe ever. And this was one-of-a-kind merch. Again, we're still not done with one-of-a-kind. It just keeps going. Okay, this is light stick stuff. They have such a cute light stick. I'm so glad I got to use it at least once. Tour stuff, in which I got to use that light stick. And then we have TTYL, the apology postcards, because they printed the album so badly. I think it's the top one here is tour, and then everything else is talk to you later. So here is everything from the last era for now, I say delusionally. And then Yeojin's postcards from her Hello Live event. Okay, and the final Loossemble binder, like I said last week, I figured out a way to turn it the other way so you can see some of the stuff that's on the back. If you want to see these like turned the other way, again, you can go watch the video from last week where I go through my whole Loona collection. In here is most of Loosemble's album cards because they came in sets of 3, so it worked out really nicely for that. There's POBs mixed in to everything, just what I thought looked good on the pages. So this is where a lot of my Loossemble era stuff is, just because I think it worked out nicely. This is the her kit. We get to one of a kind. And TTYL. I am very close to finishing TTYL. It's just this go on that I'm missing. So we're almost done, just need to store most of the cards. We have the postcard sets. And then here is the stuff that I wanted to show you on both sides. These are the Moonshot Tour things that I need to mount on pages somehow. I didn't get to show it last week, but here is all of the members. I think these are such cool shots, but like they didn't need to be this big. It was unnecessary. And here is just a bunch of weird miscellaneous stuff that I was testing these pages with. And my banners from the concerts that I went to. That is everything. That is my whole collection. This is gonna be exhausting to edit. My phone has filled up the storage like 3 times already, so this is gonna be good. It's gonna be fun. Thank you so much for watching, if you made it all the way to the end. If you're new here, subscribe, stick around. I think we have a pretty good time here. You get to see most of these collections expand in the next 6 months before we do the end of year flip through. I think we're doing sleeve and photo cards next week. And then the week after that is gonna be an album unboxing for a bunch of stuff. I have a bunch of albums that I've kind of been like stockpiling that we can go through. So that's gonna be the week after that. And then I think storing photo cards. So it's gonna be a fun rest of July. We're gonna have a good time here. Again, thank you so much for watching. See you next week.